Yes, sir. It's better now.
Yeah.
The volume
ரெண்டுமே எக்கோ கேன்சலிங் கொடுக்கணும் சார். இனிமேல் அது பார்த்துருங்க. இருங்க வரேன். வால்யூம்
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. The camera.
இல்லை சார்.
Okay, shall we start? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now you can start. Now it's
okay. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
சவுண்டு கொடுத்துருவோம் நம்ம. ஆமா சார், அது தப்பு தான் சார். நான் எங்க தப்பு தான் சார். நான் பல சார்ஜர் எல்லாம் போட்டு வைக்கணும். ஹலோ, எஸ் சார், டன் சார்.
So today we discuss about power systems, control systems, and measurements. So we have a 3 to 4 questions. In general, 3 questions from these topics. Okay. So 1 question from power systems, 1 from control systems, 1 question from measurements. In general, so today's class we may have a 2 or 3 questions. So let me start with the power systems. So we generate electricity, and the electricity is carried from generating stations to our utilizations. So in general, easy to understand, we are generating electricity from Ras Laffan and we are utilizing the electrical energy in the Muntasir. So that means our objective, we need to carry the electrical energy from Ras Laffan to Muntasir. So it's more than approximately 200 kilometers. So we need to carry the electricity through cables, through conductors, because more specifically means cable means we think that it is underground cables. So in general, we need conductors, cables, wires, what are things. So from generation station to utilization. So the carrying the electricity by 2 ways, either overhead conductors or underground cables. So now we discuss about the overhead, because most of the questions are related to the overhead. So that's why in our discussions we discuss about the overhead conductors. So usually in the generating stations, for understanding purpose, I say we are generating 100 MVA, 100 mega volt ampere we are generating with the capacity of 33 kV. We are generating for understanding purpose and used to mathematics calculations, we are generating this much power with 33 kV. So this is the power what we generate in the Tesla farm. So our objective to transfer the 100 MVA to Tesla farm to Muntasa. In our Muntasa, our equipment are worked on based on 230 voltage or 440 voltage. So we are generating 33. So we need to step down the transformer 33 to 440 at 220 like this. Okay, for ideal condition, we have a unity power factor, means how much current will have? 1000 100 into 10 power 6 divided by 33 into 10 power 3. So this is the current. As we assume that there is no losses, there is no voltage drop, there is no power factor, that is unity power factor. And these conditions, this is the current. So approximately that is approximately 3000 amps. Okay, approximately 100 will be 33. That amps, because this is the voltage, this is the voltage, this is the power. So we have this much current. So that means our conductor, which we laid from Raslapan to Muntasa, that conductor carries 3000 amps. The conductor having its own resistance. So if the conductor carries current means there is a losses will occur. How much loss will occur? I square R losses. That is 3000 into 3000 into R. I square R losses. So this much losses will occur. So we need to reduce the losses. Either we reduce the current or reduce the resistance. Then only we can be able to reduce the losses, because loss is nothing but I square R. We need to reduce the resistance value or current value. So that's why losses becomes reduced. Okay. First we take the resistance. What is the formula for the resistance? R is equal to rho L by A. R is equal to rho L divided by A. Our objective to reduce the loss. To reduce the losses. First I will take the resistance. To reduce the resistance value, we need to reduce the length, because this is the formula for the resistance. Either we reduce the resistivity or length or increase the cross-sectional area. Whether we can be able to reduce the length, because we are generating the Raslapan in Muntasa, we are not able to reduce the distance. So it is a ruled out. Okay. Now we have a resistivity. So in front of us we have a gold, silver, copper, aluminum, all are conductors. So in our group I said a question, silver is the best conductor. So that's why I take a silver as a conductor. So that way I can be able to reduce the resistivity. Okay, good. But if you use the conductor, the length of the conductor approximately 200 meters, 200 kilometers, the cost is increases. Instead of, if you are using the silver means, the cost is increased. To reduce the costs,
According to silver, copper is more
yes,
good conductor.
yes. So silver is a good conductor, but we didn't take this. To reduce the copper losses, I must choose the silver. But I'm not able to choose the silver because cost wise is too high. So that's why I prefer copper, aluminum. So the silver and gold is ruled out. Because as of now, silver is a good conductor, but we didn't choose the silver. We choose the copper or aluminum due to the commercial impact. Okay, now area. To reduce the losses, we need to increase the area because it is denominator increases means here value reduced. See here, this is the conductor. To increase the area means we need to choose this one. So if we increase the area, what will happen? The volume is increases. Because length does not change. If they increase the area, volume increases. Volume increases means again the weight of the conductor is increases. So weight increases means cost impact. So that's why we are not able to increase the area. So one particular part we need to maintain the one area. So that's why to reduce the losses, we are not able to reduce as much as the resistance value. One particular point we need to stop. That point in technically we use the word break-even point. Okay. So in other next way we need to reduce the current. We can be able to reduce the current. In what way you can be able to reduce the current? Now by using the transformer concept, if we increase the step up, what will happen? The current is reduced. So that's why here we are generating 33 kV, but we transmitted by 220. So if the voltage increases, what will happen? The current is reduced because see here. This is the power what we generate. Now that we are using a step-up transformer. It's approximately 0.5. 100 by 200 means 0.5. So that means 500 amps. So here we have a 3000 into 3000 into R. Now it's become 500 into 500 into R. So that's why we go for the step-up transformer which is located in the generating station. So here we are using step-up transformer. Number one, to reduce the losses, at the same time to increase the voltage regulations. Okay, now the throughout these the power systems, they are categorized into two. One, transmission systems. In the other half, we have a distribution systems. So transmission systems, distribution systems. So the power systems classified into transmission systems and distribution systems. The transmission systems further classified into primary transmission and secondary transmissions. Similarly, distributions also. But in the exam point of view, we have a question from the secondary distributions. What is the voltage rating in the secondary distribution? We are using 230 voltage, 440 voltage. But this is because most of the people belongs to India, that's why we use the word 230. But in Qatar, we are using 240 voltage, not 230. So usually in India, we say 230, 220 like this. So the rated voltage is 240. 240 plus or minus 6%. In India, 5%, here 6%. So we must remember this value. 240 plus or minus 6%. So this is the question frequently asked. And in the generation, so in the transmission systems, so in this diagram, here I mentioned 220. But in Qatar, now currently we transmit the voltage at the maximum 400 kVA. Say earlier 220 because 5 years before or 10 years, because if you may wrote the exam at that time, the answer is 220. Nowadays the answer is 400 kV. So from this slide we must remember two numbers. One number, this is the maximum transmission voltage. So this is the distribution voltage. Usually the question they ask that what is the voltage rating in the residential building? Now these lines are represent the conductors. Okay, we are using the overhead conductors. For understanding purpose, we discuss the overhead conductors. These overhead conductors is maybe a copper or aluminum. Okay, but usually we are using the aluminum conductors. Why we use the aluminum conductors? That we discuss in the next slides. So here we are transmitting the electricity through the overhead conductors. These are the overhead conductors. Now this conductor carries current. Okay. So we have two currents are there, AC current and DC current. This conductor carries AC current because we are generating electricity in the form of AC. So this conductor carries AC current. That is this conductor. If a conductor carries the current, what will happen? Heat energy will produce. When the heat energy will produce, that means the system having some resistance. That means this entire system having resistance. Okay. Now, this conductor carries AC current. So, if the conductor carries the AC current, in general current, what will happen? So, there is a flux will produce in the conductor. Like this. This is the conductor. It carries the current. So, if the conductor carries current, there is a flux produced around the conductor. Usually we use the word N-circle rings. Like this. Like this, there is a flux is produced here. So usually in our book, we have a dotted lines are there. Okay. So these N-circle rings are called as flux. So throughout this conductor, we have a flux with an equal distance. The cumulative of all the fluxes is make your inductors that we have a L. That means these systems having inductance. So earlier the system having resistance. Now the system having inductance also. So this is the R phase, Y, B. So in between these two phases, what is present there? Air is present there. Okay. Now, what is the capacitor symbol? This is the capacitor symbol. So this is the conductor. It is a conductor. In between these two conductors, we have a dielectric media is present. So that combination we call as a capacitance. Now we have here R phase, Y phase. In between these two phases, we have a gap. So that means this setup is behaving as a capacitance. Okay, or so this my overhead is a conductor and it is a ground. So in between that is face to ground also we have a air. So ground is act as a conductor. So line to line or line to ground, we have a air is present. So that's why we have a capacitance also present there. So in the transmission systems, in the entire transmission systems, resistance, inductance, capacitance are present. So more specifically, face to face and face to ground, that's why we use the word shunt capacitance also. So in our exam, that is no need to go in detail about the shunt capacitance. So three important parameters, resistance, inductance, capacitance are present in the transmission systems and distribution systems also. We must remember these things. And this is present in there. So the entire circuit, the entire system, we can able to draw the equivalent model that we call this is the transmission system model. Resistance, inductance are contained in parallel and capacitance is grounded. So it's a general model for the transmission systems. And this model may be classified. These are the things what we discussed right now. So the transmission systems are classified based on the line distance. So based on the distance, the entire transmission systems be classified as three major categories: short transmission line, long transmission line, medium transmission lines. So from this slide, we must remember the length. Rarely they may ask that exam. So short transmission line less than 80, long transmission above 160. So medium between these things. So sometimes in your exam, instead of 80, they may give 70, 65, 85 like this. Because this is the value, the general values. So as per QCS 2014, I didn't give the exact numerical numbers. So in general, just remember the value numbers. Less than 80, above 160. So by this way, the entire transmission line will be classified. So now the transmission line is classified based on the length, but the transmission line having resistance, inductance, capacitance. This is the general thing. In general, transmission systems having resistance, inductance, capacitance, but for short transmission, medium, long, how this model becomes, we can be able to redraw the model. For short transmission lines, the resistance and inductance only present. Capacitance value is least important, negligible amount. So that's why in short transmission line, we didn't calculate any capacitance because it's a negligible amount. So at that time, the equivalent circuit model is like this. This is the transmission model for short transmission line. So the transmission lines, one end we have a Russell-Lupton, in the other end we have a Muntasar. Russell-Lupton we call as a sending end voltage and Muntasar we call as a receiving end voltage. So that's why instead of Russell-Lupton Muntasar, we may say VS, sending end voltage and receiving end voltage. And this is the resistance, this is the capacitance, inductance. So this is the model for short transmission line. That means this is the simple RL circuit. If you are strong in the RL circuit means we may solve the problem for this one, but in our exam they didn't ask any question from the problems. There is no problem, especially for short transmission line. But we have a problem for RL circuits. So if you have a content in the AC fundamentals, we may solve any problems. And medium transmission lines, here the capacitance having some impact is present there. So that's why the model is become like this. So in the medium transmission line, capacitance having some values, we are not able to neglect it. So the capacitance value may be present in this receiving end because it is in the right side. So in the right side, so that's why this is we have put the capacitor in the receiving end. Sometimes we may put in the sending end. Sometimes the capacitor is divided into two and put one half in the sending end and other half in the receiving end. So here it is C, here C by 2, this is C by 2. So in the medium transmission line, we have three different models of that. So this is the call as T circuits and this we call as a pi circuit. T model, pi model. T model, the capacitance is either placed in the sending end or receiving end. In the pi model, the capacitance is divided into two halves and placed in the both the ends. So RL is kept like this. So long transmission lines, we are not able to predict, we are not able to get the resistance inductance for the entire circuits. So here we for a 200 kilometers, 160 kilometers, we take one small area and we calculate and we multiply it in the entire areas. So that means in the long transmission line, we are not able to segregate, we are not able to get the exact value for the resistance in the capacitance. So here, so the circuit model like this. So we have here complete sectors, we have that. But in exam point of view, just we remember these things. Okay. So now the transmission systems. So we laid the cables, conductors, not a cable, conductors. Now this conductor, we may usually use the word before I say that copper or aluminum. More specifically, we are using these 5 conductors. We are not using the copper conductors. We have 5 conductors I listed. Out of 5, the 5th one, ACSR conductors. This is the mostly we are using this type of conductors. So in exam point of view, we must remember the ACSR. What is the abbreviation for ACSR? That question also asked that exam. So we must know the abbreviations. Aluminum conductor, steel reinforced. So similarly, yet we didn't have a question from the first 4. They didn't ask the abbreviations. But as an engineer, just I think 1 or 2 times before going to the exam, read these abbreviations also.